Well, it's time to go through the Sweet 16 games. The men's side is completely been wrapped up. The Sweet 16 is finished, and a lot of surprises here. One thing that I was not surprised to see is that Duke and UConn are going to be facing off in the Elite Eight. I predicted this. This is the only Elite Eight game that I got correct, Duke versus UConn. So I feel good about that. St. John's gave Duke a real fight, but they lose 80-75. It was a really good game. I was rooting for St. John's, honestly, rooting for the upset, because at this point my bracket is so busted I don't really care. Dylan Darling having another nice game, 8 points. Ejiofor with 17 points. Hopkins with 15 points. Shout out to Prey, 13 or 12 points off the bench. But for Duke, they just had Cam Bouger have another incredible game. 22 points, 7 for 16 from the field, 8 for 9 from the free throw line. He was really good. He was on point. And Duke was the better team. They are the better team, and at this point, I think it's hard not to consider Duke the favorites in this tournament. I think UConn and Arizona are probably their two best, biggest contention. Look at what UConn did against Michigan State. Another really close game. Michigan State kept it close the entire game, ends up losing by 4, 67-63. More of a defensive style game. Down here, definitely some shockers. Obviously, you guys know if you watch the channel, I picked Houston to win it all. Houston does not end up winning it all. They end up losing in the round of 16 to the Fighting Illinois, winning 65-55. Houston's offense just went completely cold. Illinois, credit to them, their defense was on point. Illinois had the defense down. They had it down. And Houston didn't have a chance. Houston never once did it feel like Houston was going to win that game. They just did not have the offense. And then meanwhile, Iowa, after upsetting Florida, they get another upset. They beat Nebraska. So Iowa is your Cinderella story. The 9-seeded Iowa taking on the 3-seeded Illinois. And so that is where we end up over here. Nebraska, credit to them. A lot of credit to the Cornhuskers. They win their first 2 March Madness games in program history. But they ran into a red-hot Iowa team, the Hawkeyes in the Elite Eight. And I think the Hawkeyes are live dogs against Illinois. This is the sort of thing where anything can happen. In fact, if you look at Iowa versus Illinois basketball, what they've done just this year, can we find a score? You see Illinois won by 6 on January 11th. So it's going to be, I think, absolutely Iowa has the ability to keep it close. And the winner of that game will go to the Final Four. So the Big Ten is guaranteed at least one Final Four team. Up here in the bracket, Arizona against Arkansas. Arizona defeating Arkansas pretty handily, 109-88. The Arizona offense is electric. They are an electric offense. The Wildcats, they really just know how to turn it on. The Razorbacks, they scored a lot too. Arizona's weakness is defense. So we'll see what Purdue can do. Purdue beating Texas 79-77. Credit to Texas almost getting an 11 seed into the Elite Eight. They kept it very close with Purdue. They hung in there. Texas peaked at the right time, but the Longhorns not able to get it done. So the Boilermakers, and we have another 1 versus 2. 1-2 and a 1-2 up here on this side of the bracket. I would take Arizona to win. I would take UConn to win. That'd be my predictions. And then down here, Michigan, Alabama. Michigan winning 90-77. So another 1 seed moving on. And Tennessee upsetting Iowa State 76-62. Tennessee was the better team. And so the SEC, we thought, would the SEC get anybody in? We thought it would be Florida. We thought maybe it would be a team like Alabama as a 4 seed could have an opportunity. But it will not be Florida. It will not be Alabama. We thought maybe Arkansas would have an opportunity at an upset. But no, it'll be Tennessee, the only SEC team in the Elite Eight. So Michigan, I would take Michigan and Arizona to win those games. I would take UConn and Iowa. So I'm going to predict it to get the upset. Iowa against UConn, a 2 versus 9. And then the other Final Four game, I think, is a battle of 1 seeds in Arizona and Michigan. That's my prediction for the Elite Eight. We'll update you when it happens. This has been Coast to Coast Sports.